Van Helsing, Traci Lords, and Vladimir Putin are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 7th, 2021. It is the 127th day of the year. There's 238 days left in 2021. It's the 19th Friday in the 19th weekend, the 49th day of spring. We got 45 days until summer. There are 357 days until Arbor Day. I only think they celebrate that now in Nebraska. It used to be a big thing. Well, not big thing, but it was a holiday. I'm sure to people that love trees, it was a big thing, but to most of us, it was just a holiday. Today is Military Spouse Appreciation Day. Now, I'm going to give you from the website what it says. Military Spouse Appreciation Day honors and emphasizes the importance of spouses of the military. This day aims to highlight family support and fundamental to success in the military. Spouses and families are deemed silent heroes for their continued support of those within the military. Okay, so that's all well and good. If you've never been in the military, you have no idea how these poor people live. Not they have bad things. It's just you're married to a guy or a woman that could be on alert all the time. And within, I don't know, I was in a unit where if I had a wife at the time, I could get a call at, 2 in the morning and have to be out of the house in an hour and on a plane within 3 hours to go someplace. So they have to live with that stuff. And then they have to live with deployments where they could be gone for a year, things like that. It's just, in my opinion, a horrible way to live your life. But these people do it and they do it the best they can. So they deserve a day. All right, let's see what else May 7th has given us. 1915, World War I, the German submarine U-20 sinks RMS Lusitania, killing 1,198 people, including 128 Americans. Public reaction to the sinking turns many former pro-Germans in the United States against the German Empire. This becomes like a battle cry for people trying to get the United States more heavily involved in the war. 1942, World War II. During the Battle of the Coral Sea, United States Navy aircraft carriers attack and sink the Imperial Japanese Navy light aircraft carrier, Soho, I hope that's how you pronounce it. And the battle marks the first time in naval history that two enemy fleets fight without visual contact between warring ships. In the old days, you had to have a battleship and you shot giant shells towards each other. This was just airplanes going 50, 60 miles away and dropping bombs on each other. So yeah, it was quite a weird thing back in the day. 1952, the concept of integrated circuits, the basis for all modern computers, is first published by Jeffrey Dahmer, or Doomer, whatever you want to call him. But it's spelled D-U-M-M-E-R. I think that's Doober, but it's Dumber. 1992, Michigan ratifies a 203-year-old proposed amendment to the United States Constitution, making the 27th Amendment law. This amendment bars the U.S. Congress from giving itself midterm pay raises. They can't pass a lot of things in Washington, and they battle back and forth, but when pay raise comes up, that thing glides on through the process. 1998, Mercedes-Benz buys Chrysler for $40 billion American dollars and creates the largest industrial merger in history. 2000, Vladimir Putin is inaugurated as president of Russia. 2002, a China Northern airline MD-82 plunges into the Yellow Sea, killing 112 people on board. 2004, American businessman Nick Berg is beheaded by Islamic militants. The act is recorded on videotape and released to the internet. The militants said this was in response to the mistreatment of prisoners by the American forces in Iraq. Movies released on May 7th, 2004, Van Helsing. This was a great movie. It really was. It had Hugh Jackman in it and Kate Beckinsale. Great movie. It's a thing about a monster slayer. He takes a trip to Transylvania to defeat Count Dracula, who is using Dr. Frankenstein's monster and a werewolf for unsettling purposes. It was a great movie. It sounds kind of morbid and stuff, but it was actually sort of comical and action. It was a action comedy is basically what it was, with a monster element. So it was really good. Born on May 7th, 1968, Traci Lords, American actress and singer. She is a very interesting person, to say the least. One, she wasn't raised, but at age 12, she started living in the neighborhood where I came from in Redondo Beach. She went to Redondo Beach High School and dropped out her freshman year to go into the porn industry. So if you don't know about Traci Lords, she used a fake ID and a fake birth certificate, and around the summer of her freshman to sophomore year, decided she was going to be a pornographic actress. So she did. Well, everyone thought she was 18, and she did this for 2 years. She was in all kinds of films, and then one day, a couple weeks after she turned 18, 18, there was an anonymous tip to the FBI that this girl had been working in their underage. And this brought down a lot of people and really caused waves in the adult film industry. Back then, it wasn't as mainstream, so the government and different agencies were always looking to take it down, and this was just a launching pad for them. Now, in the industry, a lot of people blame Traci Lords. She was the one to give the anonymous tip because it was an attempt to launch her acting career or just, whatever, get on talk shows, who knows. But this is my experience with Traci Lords. I've never met her. She went to Redondo High School for 1 year and she was gone. Nobody really knew her. But everyone grew up with dudes that like to brag about everything. And then there were certain dudes that like to brag about what girls they'd been with. And we all know some of those. And I swear to you, every single one of those that comes to mind has a Traci Lords story that they dated her. I dated her back when she went to Redondo. No, you didn't. She was an unknown girl and nobody paid attention to her, and that's half the reason she left. And then you ask them what her name was, they're all Traci Lords. No, what's her real name? That's her real name. No, that's not her real name. It's Nora Kuzma. That's her name. But I'd had that conversation with a couple people because I'd read an article on her, and I remember, because she has kind of a unique name, Nora Kuzma. I remembered that, and I'd ask these guys this. No, that's her. They'd argue it all the time. It was just weird. Weird. So in my neighborhood, Traci Lords apparently dated everyone, and then she went into the porn industry. It's just a weird life this girl's led. But she did land some good acting roles. In 1990, she was in Crybaby with Johnny Depp. She was on MacGyver, Married with Children, Tales from the Crypt, Roseanne, Melrose Place, The Profiler, First Wave, Gilmore Girls, Will and Grace. She did some movies like Pet Sematary 2, Blade, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. She was in all kinds of movies. So she made kind of a career out of, faking she was old enough to be in the adult film industry. But she turns 52 today. Today's also, you get a twofer on birthdays today. Today is also MrBeast's birthday. Now, since most of my subscribers and viewers are a little bit older, you probably don't know MrBeast, so I'm going to tell you about him. MrBeast's real name is Jimmy Donaldson. He's from North Carolina. He's only 23 today. This kid sat down and figured out how to make it in YouTube. He really didn't have a good talent or anything like that. He just learned how it worked and he made it work for him. And right now, he is the biggest YouTuber on the platform. He's got a restaurant system going. He does all kinds of weird stuff, but he goes places and tips waitresses $10,000 for a glass of water. He gets sponsorship money like $10,000 from some company, and he'll go out and film himself just handing it to a homeless person. So this is how he got big, and now he makes millions and millions of dollars every single year. But from everything I've read, I've never met the dude. He's an incredibly nice guy, so I'd like to meet him someday. Seems like a really nice kid. Died on May 7th. 2000, we lost Douglas Fairbanks Jr. He was an American captain, actor, and producer. Back in the day, he was like the big Hollywood star, good-looking man, swab. He was like Daniel Craig or, Mark Wahlberg today. Action, star, movie star, good-looking, that type guy. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.